Good afternoon. I'll call to order this meeting of the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners on Thursday, June 11, 2026. It's 1:31 p.m. I'm Irene Fernando, Chair of the Board and District 2 Commissioner. I'm joined by District 1 Commissioner Jeff Lundy, District 4 Commissioner Angela Conley, Vice Chair and District 5 Commissioner Debbie Gotel, District 6 Commissioner Heather Edelson, and District 7 Commissioner Kevin Anderson. Hennepin County acknowledges that the magnificent land and vibrant waterways from which our institutions benefit are located upon the cultural, spiritual, and indigenous homeland of the Dakota Oyate. Hennepin County calls attention to the Dakota people's ongoing connection to this special place. On to the agenda, the first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is to approve the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
Move approval.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Conley and Commissioner Green. All those in favor of the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 3 is listed as Hennepin highlights, for which we don't have a highlight today. 4 is minutes from the previous meeting. May I have a motion for 4A, May 19, 2026 meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Cotel. Any notes or corrections? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5 is referral of correspondence and department communications. Items 5A to C are correspondence, and items 5D to 5X are department communications. May I have a motion to accept and refer as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Lundy and Cotel. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 6 is commendations. We have no commendations today. 7 is commissioner communications, and we have several. So we'll go down the list, and I will begin by celebrating Pride Month. June is Pride Month, a time to recognize the history, strength, and contributions of our LGBTQIA+ residents and neighbors. This week, our LGBTQIA+ employee resource group hosted their annual Pride celebration, which I attended, super fun. The event was a combination of celebration and learning with opportunities to connect, share resources, and enjoy creative expression and performances. And actually, Commissioner Gotel and Commissioner Edelson were there. I believe County Attorney Moriarty joined, and so I want to express gratitude to the artists and the employees that put that together. Hennepin County Library is also celebrating Pride throughout June with queer-focused book clubs, gender-affirming clothing swap, a trans-fabulous button-making program, and family-friendly Pride story times. You can view the full schedule of online and in-person Pride events at hclib.org. Many county departments will be at the Twin Cities Pride Festival on June 27 and 28, and the Lowry Avenue Bridge will also be illuminated with rainbow colors in recognition of the festival. I'm also to share that for the first time, Hennepin County will proudly participate in the Twin Cities Pride Parade. If any employees are watching right now, you can register to walk and are welcome to bring your family members to join the celebration. We hope that everyone has a safe, happy, and affirming Pride Month, knowing that Pride is every day. The next Commissioner Communication is celebrating Juneteenth, offered by Commissioner Conley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, so next week, June 19th, is Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. This year marks just 5 years since Juneteenth was declared a national holiday. Our African American ERG, Employee Resource Group, hosted their community Juneteenth celebration earlier this week on June 8th. This community-centered event honored freedom, resilience, Black cultural expression with an inspiring lineup of wellness activities, reading, and guided conversations. We will have several teams of Hennepin County staff out at events all across the county, celebrating, talking with community members, and sharing about county resources. Events include the Minneapolis Juneteenth celebration at Bethune Park. Hennepin County Sheriff's Office will also be at the Change Starts With Community and JCPP of Edina Juneteenth celebrations. Hennepin County Libraries are celebrating Juneteenth with Black Storytellers Alliance on June 16th at the St. Louis Park Library. Learn about characters from African and African American folk tales and the tradition of storytelling in the African American community in this very lively performance. This event is part of the City of St. Louis Park's Juneteenth series. Find event information and curated book lists for all ages at hclib.org. Lastly, the Lowry Avenue Bridge will be lit red, black, green, and gold on June 19th in celebration of Juneteenth. Thanks to all of our staff who are attending a Juneteenth event on behalf of the county. I know I'll probably see you at one of those. These events are great opportunities to connect with our residents and community members, and we just hope everyone has a very joyful and meaningful Juneteenth this year. Thank you.
Thank you. I get to do the next communication because Commissioner Conley was traveling for work during this time. And so I'm thrilled to share that on Tuesday, June 2nd, Hennepin County held our annual Recognition of Success graduation ceremony at the McNamara Alumni Center in Minneapolis. We celebrated the success of 79 young people who graduated or earned their GED while receiving county services in foster care, teen hope, or the juvenile justice system. I had the honor of welcoming the graduates and their guests to the ceremony and recognizing their grit and determination overcoming considerable odds. This ceremony is an opportunity to lift up the contributions they have made and will continue to make to our community. It's also an opportunity to shift the narrative about young people away from the obstacles they face toward their strengths, hard work, and richly deserved success. I want to give a special acknowledgement to the graduates who are part of the Youth Advisory Group and staff that were essential in planning the event, as well as this year's recipients of the Young Scholar Award. On behalf of the entire board, congratulations to our 2026 graduates. We are incredibly proud of each one of you, and we know that this is just the beginning of your continued success. It is quite the event. I see why you're eager about it every year. Next up, we will have 250th anniversary celebrations offered by Commissioner Lundy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hennepin County is joining the nation in recognizing 250 years since the Declaration of Independence. To honor this anniversary, we're creating and supporting programs that highlight the state, local, and indigenous histories. This shared history has shaped our land, community, government, and culture. Our programming draws on the American Association for State and Local Histories Field Guide in a collaboration with the Hennepin History Museum. Our central theme, Power of Place, focuses on local stories, people, and our unique spaces and places. We are also hosting, partnering, and supporting a number of events that highlight our local, state, and indigenous cultures, including the Go Outside with Hennepin County event series, the Hennepin County Fair, America 250 Genealogical Research, ongoing exhibits at the Hennepin History Museum, and community screens of the American Revolution documentary series, which is directed by Ken Burns in partnership with the Twin Cities PBS. There are many more events happening in cities and counties across the state. I encourage you to check out hennepincounty.gov for more information about the events we shared today, or check out the events happening in your community. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last Commissioner communication is the Governor's Workplace Safety Awards offered by Commissioner Goodell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm excited to present this. June is National Safety Month, and we're reminded of key safety topics that affect all of us, from building strong culture of safety to staying safe on the roads to supporting overall worker health and preventing slips, trips, and falls. I encourage all of us to take time to reflect on the safety. Think about the small actions you take each day and make in your workplace, home, and community. Make it safer for everyone. The National Safety Council also offers free resources to help inspire safer habits and prevent injuries. Hennepin County is proud to be recognized as the 2026 Minnesota Safety and Health Conference with the Governor's Workplace Safety Award. So excited. We earned the Gold Achievement Award for our strong performance. This is really a big deal. I've been at these awards a lot of years, so this is a really big deal to get this award. It's strong performance in preventing workplace injuries in 2025, including an incident rate better than the 75th percentile of both state and national averages. This achievement reflects our employees' commitment to working safely each day and the people first, and the stewardship core values that we have. Our employees are the county's greatest assets in protecting their well-being and their strengths, our ability to serve residents effectively. The safety and health representatives here today are just a small portion of the many people across the county who work every day to keep everyone safe. I want to thank all those who contribute to our safety culture, our 21 department safety and health committees, department safety contacts, employees who speak up about safety concerns, our union partners, and county leadership. Your efforts truly make a difference. We have wonderful folks from our workplace safety team here today. They have the Governor's Award here with them, so I would like to first give them a round of applause. Congratulations. Then I'd like to invite them up to take a photo with the award. Come on up. You come on around this way with the board. Let's see this beautiful award.
Are we on a receiving line? Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. You're all matching today. That's very cute. Very nice. It's good to match. Thank you, thank you. Love the matching. So fun. Thank you. We have like a formal receiving line now. We're gonna do it. Thank you so much. Congrats, congrats. Congrats, congrats. I think you all should be in the middle. We'll like flank you, I guess. Oh, yes. I'm always in the front. I'm sorry, if you're like my height-ish, you have to be here. I'm just.
Get everyone in frame. All right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Congrats.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for all that you do. Thank you. No, that's it. This will go up as one of our awards. That's exciting. Many years I did that, I never
I'm surprised you don't have your hard hat out. Just
I know,
right
my
away.
hard hat, and I got steel toes. I got steel toe shoes. I got all that stuff. My ear protection.
Debbie, those are not steel toes.
Not these, but I have them. No, these are not. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, you are welcome. Thank you. We are on to 8 on the agenda, the claims register. We have 3 today. 8As for the claims register period ending May 22nd, 2026. 8B for the period ending May 29. And 8C is the claims register for the period ending June 5, 2026. May I have a motion for all 3, please?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you, Commissioners Lundy and Conley. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. 9 are consent items. These would have passed unanimously out of committee. We have 9A to 9T. May I have a motion for the block?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Gotel. I'd like to highlight one right away, and it is, let me get the number, 9Q. This is about my favorite project, many people's favorite project, the Blue Line Extension. So just want to offer to those watching at home and to the 2 decades of residents and advocates and workforce.
Satellite office? Yeah, it says it's the Richfield Human Services.
That was fun. We do have them. Okay, back to the blue line, as always. Again, very eager to support this. While there's no change in the NTE and the conditions to the actual item, I wanted to take this opportunity to express gratitude to residents, workers, and all of the communities who have made this such a important and we're just so close to the reality of this project. We're at 90% design kind of for this second time. We have had a wonderful relationship with my council members and the chair, and have been grateful to get to know the now not so new chair this year in 2026. Want to appreciate last fall's municipal consent process where over 85% support, and that the cities along the corridor have made incredible investments to tee up this project. And so that's why I wanted just to take a second to talk about, because all of us have to be moving together in order for us to even be at this moment. And I want to express that over half the residents in the corridor, this isn't just an add-on, this is a need to have. Half of the residents don't have cars. This is the most transit-reliant community, sets of communities in the state. And certainly where I live and into where Commissioner Lundy represents, this is also an area where there has not been as much economic development. And at a time where revenue is decreasing, we need to invest in economic development, in our tax base, because those investments have cascading impacts for all of our services, all of our schools, and the long-term kind of sustainability of our broader region and the public good. So I'll be opening it up here for any of the consent agenda items, right? This is a consent agenda. So these are items that would have passed unanimously out of committee. But I wanted to uplift 9Q to express my individual gratitude and to express my excitement about the county's longstanding commitment and what we're going to do to make sure that residents get the services they deserve. With that, okay, Commissioner Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. When I hear people talking in excitement about the Blue Line extension, I gotta, the energy hits me. I just couldn't agree with your remarks more, and want to underscore what you said about 85% or more than 85% municipal consent for this project. Like, there's just enormous interest from the community and community leaders in this project. You mentioned the figures about transit reliance along this line. I also want to underscore the climate impacts of having light rail and as part of our system. And I think that's going to be my final point, is a system, to be the city and region that we envision ourselves to be becoming in the future. We need a system, and the Blue Line extension is an important piece of making our light rail system more than a few little lines. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to uplift item 9T on this. Are moving ahead with contracts and retaining a consultant to assist with the vetting and finding of candidates for the Hennepin Healthcare Systems Professional Board. Governance change is underway, and this is in part a response to the legislative directive that we received this year, but I think it is also a reflection of our shared desire to be moving towards this new governing outcome. And so looking forward to engaging in that process and having this rolling along. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Lundy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say ditto to your comments. It does feel like 20 decades, but it has only been 2. But just I wanted to highlight 9M and really highlight not as much as what we are doing, but the discussion we had as a board, along with staff and the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, about understanding not just Minneapolis, but countywide what's happening, how there can be such a difference in services available depending on where you live, even though a crime is a crime is a crime. And so really trying to understand that cities do things differently, how they approach things, what services are made available. And it's not about whether people care or don't care. It's just where people have the wherewithal to make sure that victims, no matter where you are inside Hennepin County, that you have access and have support and know that you matter in a crime that knows no boundaries as far as race as far as people's finances, as far as where you live. It happens everywhere. And so I just want to highlight that. I know we're going to get some good information back. And I think we may discover opportunities for us to help anybody everywhere in our county. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, we have the consent items before us, 9A to 9T. Any others that individuals like to highlight? For those watching at home, we verbally expressed additional support for our unanimous votes with respect to 9M, which was about victim advocacy, specifically regarding domestic violence, 9Q, which was about the Blue Line extension, and 9T, which was about Hennepin Healthcare System board recruitment for the January 2027 deadline. With all that before us, all those in favor of the consent items, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 10 are non-consent items. These would have passed out of committee but not unanimously, for which we have none. 11 are progressed items. These are items that would have progressed from committee to board without a vote, and we have one. 11A is to establish an annual Heart of Hennepin Service Award offered by Commissioner Edelson. Would you like to move it? I'll second it. Go ahead.
So I spoke about this before, but what this will do is establish a way to recognize community members for doing work that's important to the county. And so I'm happy to take any questions. Otherwise, I would love your support.
Thank you. Discussion is open, colleagues. I'll just say that we had a very, I think, productive conversation. Glad to see that it's here, and I think we'll be proceeding to vote. All right, colleagues, with this item before us, all those in favor of 11A, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and we have now established a new award, and thank you, Commissioner Edelson. 12 on the agenda is old business. These are items that would have been seen by this board previously and laid over to today, for which we have none. 13 is immediate approvals, and we have two today. 13A is to establish closed labor meetings on Tuesday, July 14, and Tuesday, August 18 at 10 a.m. to discuss matters related to labor strategies. I'll move this. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Gotel. Colleagues, this is straightforward scheduling. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of 13A, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13B is a submission of 2026 Hennepin County Local Performance Measurement Data to the Office of the State Auditor and declaration of participation in the Local Performance Measurement Program for the 2026 budget year. May I have a motion, please? Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Conley. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners. Item 13B is the submission of the 2026 Local Performance Measures data to the Office of the State Auditor. Cities and counties that participate in this effort may be eligible for certain reimbursement opportunities. Hennepin County has submitted performance data since 2011, when the effort began. Jody Werma, Assistant County Administrator for the Operations line of business, is here to provide more detail. Thank you, Jody.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Chair Fernando and Commissioners. This bar, as Jody indicated, is one that we bring before you. We've done it each year since 2013, and we do it after we've completed our performance measure report for the State Auditor's Office. The county does receive about $25,000 for our participation in this voluntary program. So the goal of the program is to provide residents and elected officials with comparable data on how the county is doing with local services and whether or not they're meeting community needs. The full report is included in the agenda materials. You should have that. The areas that we're required to report on include public safety, public works, public health, social services, taxation, elections, veteran services, library, budget, and the environment. The report is prepared each year by the Department of Integrated Data and Analytics, and they leverage data from the state and from county systems. And the current report reflects data collected in 2025 or the most recently available data for the required measurement. The survey also, or the data also includes survey data from, for example, from our SHAPE survey or from our veteran survey on quality of services that we provide. We're required to file this report with the state auditor by July 1st. with the performance measurements then to be published on our county webpage. And I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Colleagues, discussion? Commissioner Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Ms. Wirma. Will give us a few highlights. I bet there's interesting stuff in there. How are we doing?
Sure. Well, I think we're doing well. Let me just pull up the report. I'll give you an example of the kinds of data that we report on for each of the areas. So we do crime rate, we do recidivism rate, road and plowing conditions, election accuracy, quality of veteran supports, number of library visits, bond rating, and recycling percentages. Is there a particular area that you're interested in a statistic on?
They all sound interesting. Thank you. I think maybe let me ask the question a different way, which is that clearly we're required to submit this data. Is there a way in which we respond to the data, and in which case highlight a statistic that we might be responding to?
Sure. Chair Fernando, Commissioner Green, we're not required to do this. This is a voluntary program, but we have participated, and we collect this data internally and again use data from the state. We don't provide a specific response. We simply put the data out there for people to see. So it's really about transparency, but the report does not reflect commentary on the data. It simply reflects the data itself, if that answers your question.
It does a little, thank you, Madam Chair. It does a little, yes. And I guess I'm wondering, I suspect maybe in other venues we're tracking whether or not we're pleased with the number of library visits, or we want there to be more, or, are we happy with how the roads are getting plowed, or we want to do better at that. So because those are the things being measured, it makes me want to evaluate. And so I'm wondering, how do we evaluate those services if not through this report?
Sure. Chair Fernando, Commissioner Green, I think each individual department that provides the data then receives the data. They give the data to our Chief Data Officer, Eric Erickson. I imagine, and I can follow up with you and provide a written response with respect to our response to each of the data metrics in here. But I believe they're done individually by each department that provides the data. So for example, roads being plowed. I imagine Public Works collects the data, they submit it to Eric for compilation in this report, and then use that internally for their own department metrics to respond.
Okay.
But I'm happy to give a full accounting of, what each of the responses is for our areas.
That sounds like a lot.
I don't know that it actually is, Chair Fernando, Commissioner Green. I think that's probably information that we have, and I think we'd be happy to provide that.
Okay. I feel sensitive on staff's behalf that I don't like asking for memos unless I'm going to read them and make a decision that, directs us in a different way about it.
Sure.
I'm sure that our departments are responding to information that they have about the quality and thoroughness of their own work. So I don't want there to be a whole lot of jumping through additional hoops based on this question.
Okay. Chair Fernando, Commissioner Green, understand I will follow up and ask about the workload to do this and follow up.
Thanks.
Thank you. Further discussion? I have some commentary that might not be exactly what Commissioner Green was getting at, but perhaps I'm very interested in the public safety portion, specifically understanding the relationship of the metrics here by municipality. So public safety has a lot of kind of regulation, if you will, and so are these all federal offenses? Are these misdemeanors? Are they gross misdemeanors? What is the clearance rate? Is there a disparity in clearance rate by municipality? So I individually am very eager to have an understanding around what public safety in today's context from a resident perspective. There's just a lot of news all of the time about public safety statistics and then public safety budgets. So how might this lens of report give us yet another perspective into ensuring that we are doing what we can to increase safety for residents while also being mindful of the aggregate taxpayer demand? So that's my comment. If you, I don't require anything back. It was more how I see it, but I'm happy to receive a response if you have one.
Sure, Chair Fernando. In the report, if you look at the public safety, it does give you a little bit of background about the crimes and how they're organized. It doesn't speak specifically to what you just said about increasing safety for our residents. Again, this is simply a data, making transparent data that we're making available for individuals, government officials, the residents, taxpayers who want to see this. Happy to follow up on that if you think that is something that you'd like to see
Yeah,
tied back to the metrics.
it's not tied back to this metric because this is the optional submission to,
Yep.
you're right, for, I'm expressing this kind of connecting to other conversations we've had as a board. Because while this is, it's organized by type, not necessarily by level or by location. So to kind of intersect this with a discussion we had at the committee level when we approved the domestic violence victim advocacy services, right? That came to us. What they were proposing is there was a bit of a misalignment on city reviewing felony charges and the county reviewing misdemeanor and gross misdemeanor charges. So I'm just very interested in the data around level of charge, location, right, which municipality, and what is the funding mechanism for that locality. We are a data-driven, people-first organization, and I'm certain that there will be illuminating data for us to consider. Is there a disparity that we should be paying attention to? Not unlike what Commissioner Lundy said earlier, there's likely opportunities when we kind of dig in from a different perspective. And, for everybody watching at home, we've been talking a lot about budget, and I am interested about budget, right? So if there's a location that has a very high clearance rate that's favorable, then what are those interventions? What is their funding model? What is their response model? The success of the embedded social workers, for example, does that have a role in this clearance rate? Does that, we want to continue to provide the services and engage in the activities that increase resident outcomes and hopefully limit or mitigate undue taxpayer burden. And seeing it from this lens county level, I totally understand why the state wants to see it at the county level. I'm interested for all these metrics when we break down each of our 45 municipalities, or at least kind of the law enforcement zones that residents are served in. So this is the report, submitted, great, offering additional points of interest that, that doesn't affect the report being submitted, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Chair Fernando.
Yeah, thank you. Commissioner Adelson.
Thank you. I just want to, I really like this report. I think it's great. I think it's good for each department to kind of take a look at how things are going, and then each department is probably going to assess maybe they want to do something different. One thing that I thought was really interesting was on the post-election audit. And the numbers and looking at, as we have an election coming up this November, if you look at 2024, the 12 randomly selected precincts had 100% accuracy. Back to 2022, again, 12 randomly selected precincts, 100% accuracy. Back again to 2020, same thing happened. Back to 2018. So I guess the one question I had, and I know that maybe this is election, so maybe a little bit, are different precincts selected each random time? Do you know that? Because I think this is a great way for voter trust to understand that we have these post-election audits.
Madam Chair and Commissioner, yes, they are selected each election differently. We actually do it in this room. The canvassing board selects it. We have a random way of selecting from our 400 precincts, and there have to be a certain number that go for each congressional district that we have, but it's always random. And as you said, we've had 100% accuracy for the past several elections, really showing the strength that and just so it's clear, the post-election audit is taking what we produced on election night to say what the vote totals were for the different candidates. And then the audit is actually taking out the ballots and hand counting them. It's usually for governor or senator and then representative and then one other race. And it shows that the hand count for those 12 precincts match the electronic count at 100%. As you said, highlighting that our elections are accurate and the election results that we report on election night are sound.
Well, and then thank you, Mr. Rogan, and to that, Madam Chair. If there's something we could put out on social media, on communications, I just think that there's a lot of things that are going about it. If somebody doesn't like the result of an election, that it's just, something's wrong. We do these audits, and I think the public should know just how much they can trust voting in Hennepin County. So thank you for that.
Madam Chair and Commissioner, we are going to be doing a elections presentation coming up before the primary, and we will make sure to highlight that and to talk specifically about our election accuracy.
Thank you. Colleagues, any other discussion? So 13B is before us, which is a submission that we do every year around measures. And multiple commissioners, including myself, had a lot of feedback on the data and further ideas on where to take the data. But before us is submitting it to the state auditor. Further discussion on the item? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have reached the end of our published agenda, so a motion to adjourn is in order.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Anderson and everyone else, but I'll give it to Lundy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, but don't go too far. We have another meeting, and I will hand the virtual gavel to Rail Chair Green. Oh, thank you. I'm really excited to not see you all for a week. I just want you to know. No, just not with you here. Thanks. Heather, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not here. With on this day.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal. Nothing personal.
Oh, it feels personal.
We have money for the hospital. This is like
Over hanging out with us.
Exactly.
That's pretty bad.
It feels personal. I'll see you
She
in
just
NOLA.
does it. She doesn't want to see her moms.
Exactly. I'm sure you feel the same, honestly.
I know, and as long as we're not fighting about the hospital, I'm happy for you guys. I am happy to see all of you.
group dinner at your house.
I feel like we
For
should go
sure.
there.
Do not come through. I haven't published one yet, but yeah, thanks. I'm just trying to.
I've gotten the signal. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday, June 11th, 2026 meeting of the Hennepin County Regional Railroad Authority. The first item on our agenda is to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson, seconded by Commissioner Fernando. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, our agenda is approved. Next on our agenda is to approve the minutes from our May 19th, 2026 meeting minutes is item 2A on the agenda. I'll move approval.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Conley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the minutes are approved. Under new business, item 4A, we have something that we saw recently in our full board meeting on the consent agenda. It's the negotiating agreement with the Met Council and Hennepin County for the Blue Line Extension Project, the extension of the date to June 30th, 2027, with no increase to the NTE. I will move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
A second from Commissioner Lundy. We had ample discussion and expression of enthusiasm in our board meetings. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? That item is approved. I will call us adjourned.